It's Luke and Naomi.
Okay, it's episode 69. Let's get the jokes out of the way right now. Anything?
No, I got nothing over here.
Nothing. Just
Nope.
Just a shit-eating grin.
No,
That's all. That's all you got.
Nope.
You got nothing? Were you prepared for that at all? You remember that it was episode 69?
I didn't, actually. I completely forgot.
Episode 69. We should have gone with a different movie other than King Ralph.
We could have gone with Goon, except for I've already seen that.
Because there's a joke about the number in there. I was going to go more like what's a raunchy movie we could have watched instead of 69. Or just
American Pie.
American Pie is a great call.
Yeah.
But have you seen American Pie?
No.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Yeah, we should have thought this one through.
So
we didn't, though.
So none of seat of our pants for our entire lives. That's how we live. That's how we fly.
Absolutely. Well, that one will be added to the list.
Wow. All right.
I mean, I know the jokes.
Of course you do, but you knew, half the jokes from half the movies we've seen.
Yeah. But I haven't actually seen the movie, no.
All right. All right. I started off fun. Now I'm completely stunned and thrown off my game totally, and don't know where to go with that.
That's
so,
okay.
But it's a great answer too. So there's nowhere really else to go. There's no going up from there. I don't think.
No, there isn't. You just got to plow right through.
There might be something else that we missed or something like that. But we're not going to watch Porky's. I'm not going to make Naomi watch something ridiculous like that.
No, I don't even know anything about that, and I don't want to.
But so I don't even want to. Yeah, no, thank you. So weird 80s movie. So anyway,
American Pie is a good one.
We've got a good enough weird older movie as it is. We got King Ralph from 1991. John Goodman, just killing it.
Yeah.
I laughed so much through this movie, and I'm so glad I did, because I hope it wasn't just me being a kid that,
enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, I'm glad I could enjoy it as an adult. So we'll find out how Naomi felt about it, what she knew about it, what she was surprised about, and all that coming up in a couple of minutes. But we just wrapped up the Super Bowl 58. If you're watching this and listening to this in several years.
Yeah. It'll be still floating around on YouTube somewhere.
Super Bowl 58. It was okay.
Yeah, it was all right. So my beef with the Super Bowl is that you've got two great teams playing against each other. So not a lot usually happens.
That's a strange thing to have a beef with.
Well, I mean, nothing happens.
Oh, because they're so good, they're evenly matched.
Every single Super Bowl that I can recall, that you'll get like some points scored here and there, but it's a boring game because they're just too evenly matched for the most part, except for, that one time there's like 3 points. Somebody else got like 28 or something.
Oh yeah, 28-3.
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
And then the Patriots came back and beat Atlanta 30 whatever to 28.
But I just mean a lot doesn't happen. Like the first half of the game, nothing was really going on. It just kind of dragged. That's my beef.
It was fairly slow until, they waited till overtime to play and all of that stuff, which was just whatever. Yeah. The overtime was okay, and Mahomes I just took over that game, and the Chiefs went down and won it.
Yeah.
And it was fun. I like it. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the Niners, and I'm trying to figure out how to say that without saying it, but I'm just going to.
Well, now it's out, so now, you're set there.
It was fun for me because, Mahomes is now taking out San Francisco and Philadelphia, two of the arch enemies forever for Dallas.
Yeah.
So it's, all right, Mahomes, thank you. Well done.
Okay. Yeah.
Keep the those guys, enemy of my enemy is my friend, you know what I mean? So anyway, that's we didn't do much. We just hung out at home. It was just meh.
It fits with how the game went.
Naomi did dishes at one point.
I did dishes. I cut up vegetables. It was like a regular Sunday. Nothing was going on.
Yeah. So there you go. Very exciting Super Bowl in our household. But it's also Valentine's Day as we record this, which is a crazy anniversary for us. That's we packed up a U-Haul and drove across the country on Valentine's Day. So
that's right.
This is the 5th anniversary, I think.
It is. It is the
like
5th anniversary of that trip.
So that's a lot of fun. And because it's Valentine's Day all day, at work, everybody's talking about Valentine's Day. The decorations all over the place.
How sweet.
The cupcakes and all that. whatnot. So I think
Lovey-dovey.
everybody got talking about the rom-coms, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
you know, we don't really do rom-coms.
Not really. There's a few that I think are cute, but, you know, I don't really care about them.
And then we got you know what a great rom-com is?
What?
The Princess Bride.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's a terrible
Absolutely.
movie.
It's a great rom-com. It's a great comedy. You're going to give it another try.
I will. I will give it
And
another
you're gonna
try, but I don't think I'm going to love it.
Great rom-com, great comedy, great all-around movie, great action movie.
But it's not a rom-com.
Yeah, I know. It's a strange category to put it in, but apparently there's a BuzzFeed list or something like that.
Oh, okay. BuzzFeed came up with this. All right.
Anyway.
All right. That makes a lot more
But
sense.
do you have a rom-com that you're you know, or two that you're okay with that pop right here? Oh, you know what? There's one. Boom. This is the one I'm going to.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
So you do have one. I wasn't sure if you
I like that movie. I think it's cute.
I wasn't sure if you've ever really gotten into the romantic comedies.
I think that's the biggest one for me. Yeah, not really.
All right. So there's not, I mean, we've done a couple, like what do we do? I'm just going to sit here and blank. We've done like 60 something movies here.
Listen, every time we tell people what movies we did, I can think of like 3 of them.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
I'm not good for that one.
Somebody's
We
probably
did a
screaming it
rom-com?
right now. Yeah. It's just,
the guy hoo-ah.
I mean, that's not really a rom-com.
It wasn't?
No,
What movie was
I
that?
don't even know what you would call that. Now can't think of that one also. This is terrible.
This is horrific.
This is the worst start we've had ever.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my God. Scent of a Woman is what you're trying to say, the second one.
Yeah, that's a rom-com kind of.
And
I guess not. No,
I
not
completely
really.
forgot what I was talking about.
All
right, fantastic.
Great start.
So we don't really do the rom-coms. Is kind of the point
Obviously,
there.
yeah.
That's how that goes. Oh my God, this is great. You know what? I'm just going to go to random facts. How about that?
Okay, yeah, we just get us out of here.
That movie's going to pop in my head in
I'm
10
so
minutes.
sorry, guys.
And I'm just going to scream
I'm so
it.
sorry. Please stick around. There's a review coming up.
We'll just get to King Ralph in a second.
I promise we weren't drinking. We weren't doing drugs. Nothing's going on here. It's just a day, I guess.
It is just a day. That's all.
All right, random facts. Let's go.
Random facts. Your weekly dose of Did You Know? Thank God I remembered that. Did you know on Sesame Street the Cookie Monster's cookies weren't actually cookies?
I would assume that they weren't, but I don't. Okay.
So they were kind of edible, except for the chocolate chips.
Okay.
But they couldn't have fats, oils, or sugars because they would stain the actual puppet.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah, so they were made of pancake mix, puffed rice, instant coffee, grape nuts, and water, and then colored glue for chocolate chips.
Ah, okay.
So
I was like, so far, I'd still eat them.
safe for the Cookie Monster. Did you know a pilot episode of Game of Thrones was made in 2009 but never aired or was released? And between that and what we saw, a lot was rewritten and recast.
Okay, makes sense.
I would love to see who they originally had cast and stuff and how, I want to see that pilot. I'm surprised there's not like a petition already for that on the internet looking for.
I'm sure there is a petition for that.
Release the
somewhere
pilot.
out there.
Did you know the base of the Great Pyramid of Giza isn't a perfect square?
Huh.
Apparently the west side is like 5.5 inches longer than the east side. So it's not perfect.
I
But
want to
maybe it
know
was.
who took the time out to measure that and figure it out.
That's what I want to know too. Maybe
And how do you get
Yeah.
paid to do that job? Because I could find out weird things for a
you
living.
can find out. It seems like a hot and work intensive job trying to measure around. They probably use lasers now, but
Yeah, good point.
anyway, that's a weird job to want to do. Did you know the largest city in the world in terms of area with at least 1 million people is in Inner Mongolia in China?
No.
It is 101,913 square miles, which makes it bigger than 42 different U.S. states.
Okay.
Technically, there's a place in Greenland that's like twice that size, but it only has 24,000 people. A place in Mongolia has at least 1 million.
Okay.
So that's crazy, I guess. Did you know that from 1935 to 1937, restaurants in Wisconsin were legally required to serve cheese and butter with every meal?
I think that's a fair law. Yeah. It's Wisconsin. The only thing they're missing there is beer.
That is an interesting law, to say the least.
Yeah.
I
Probably kept the restaurants in business. You know, you have to have that cheese there. You have to have that butter. And, yeah, then people will come and see you.
That would be intense. You have to serve this.
And you know there's one guy out there going, they can't tell me what to do. I'm not doing that. And he's got, like, fake cheese or something.
That's right. Oh, man. So that's your weekly dose of Did You Know? A weird, wacky rule from Wisconsin. And the Game of Thrones thing. Still want to see that pilot. That would be cool. Yeah. Let's see here. Last week we were talking about the stupid meme going around. You can permanently change the price of one item to $1. What is it?
I'm still sticking with my answer of plane tickets.
Plane tickets.
Yeah.
That's funny you say plane tickets because Randy commented and said the same thing. Flights.
Yeah.
He said.
Because some of them are so stupid expensive. It's like, how does it cost this much money? Like, am I paying for everybody on the flight here? Come on.
Yeah, you're right. And I mean, it's basically public transportation too, which is just terrible.
Yeah.
And I mean, now they're taking out the video screens even, and it's like just hook to our Wi-Fi, and you can watch free stuff through that. Use your own damn battery. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Anyway, Bitch and Dan says my mortgage.
Ooh, nice. That's a good one.
Is that like the whole mortgage then? Is just $1 here?
Sure. Yeah.
Just the whole mortgage.
Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
It's not like now's the time to start making rules about this question.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, that's a perfect. I got nothing for that. Mark says the winning Powerball ticket. But aren't Powerball tickets already $1?
I think they're $2.
Okay, so that works. Christy says iced coffee.
Okay, that's a good one.
That is
especially if you get one every single day. So only spending $1 would be nice.
Yeah, so I like that. I would go iced coffee. Keith says food prices. I yelled at Keith. Said one item, Keith.
All the food.
And he didn't give us one item.
A full grocery cart.
That's kind
whatever you can fit in the grocery cart is just $1.
That's the item.
Yeah.
The full grocery cart.
Yeah. You go to the grocery store, you load up with whatever you want, whatever fits in the cart is $1.
I'll take that. Okay. Paul says
see, I'm gonna help out everybody here who needs help.
Paul says healthcare.
Oh. Yeah, that would be nice. Healthcare is expensive.
Cindy says healthcare as well.
Yep.
My mom says tickets, airline tickets, airfare, plane tickets, the same thing. Travel. A lot of people with the travel. Yes. Daryl just says house. I am assuming that means, the mortgage
house.
or the entire house. Yep. Yes.
I'm going to buy that house over there. Okay, $1. Okay.
Mike says house as well.
Yep.
Like everybody just very quick one-word answers. Leslie says whiskey.
All right.
Leslie nailed it.
Yeah.
Might be my favorite answer of the day along with flights. And then Jason, Marcus, a couple other people say gas.
Yeah.
So, gallon of gas or a full tank if you want
full
that
tank.
to
Let's go the same grocery cart route there. Full tank.
The same with the grocery cart. All right. I like that. Brian from England says his one, and this is great, he wrote £1. So, 1 pound price tag would be income tax.
Ooh, okay.
How about that? That's a great one.
Yeah.
And then he said if he lived in America, it would be medical insurance, health insurance, like everybody else.
Makes sense. Yes.
Yeah, fantastic. I like that one. That was a fun one. Very, very simple and very easy. We're gonna have more fun with our next one too.
And it's gonna be a little bit more complicated.
Yes. So
but this is gonna be a fun game. I think we can all get on board with this.
I'm interested to see. We're gonna have some really cool fun with this, but you have to explain it.
Okay. So we're going to play a game. It's called Ruin a Wish. So we'll put up the post and we'll comment what our wish is. And I don't know what our wish is yet. We haven't decided. But let's say Luke and I are going to say our wish is a new car. So whoever comments next has to grant our wish, but they have to ruin it. You ruin it by, all right, granted, you got a new car, but it has no engine. Or the brakes don't work. Or there's something wrong with it of why you would not want this new car. And then, after you ruin our wish, you comment your wish. The next person who comments is going to ruin your wish. I think we can keep this chain going. I think it can be fun.
All right. I'm here for it. Let's do it.
Let's give it a shot.
This could be a lot of fun.
This is teamwork, guys. We can do it.
We, of course, will post the rules, but don't forget you're listening to this on a medium where you can rewind 10 seconds very, very easily. So you can check out
you can keep listening to it over and over and over again.
And full playthroughs would absolutely be welcome 100% for us. That'd be great. So ruin a wish.
I mean, if you already stuck through the beginning of all this, you should be okay to continue going through this.
Yeah, for sure. Check out the Facebook page, Luke and Naomi on Air. If you haven't, give us a follow while you're there, and find this post and have some fun with it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to somebody who's listening to this in a couple of weeks maybe, and they go, "Oh, I got to go see if that's there."
Yes,
And
because
then,
it will be there.
Then we'll see where we've gone with it from there. So you might end up having just Naomi and me going back and forth for a few minutes, but
Until someone jumps in.
I'm sure someone. I'm willing to bet. But I'm thinking a couple of people that would jump in.
There's a few names that come to mind.
We'll see if I'm right next episode. So find that Luke and Naomi on Air on Facebook. You'll find links to everything else that we do there as well on the YouTube. All right. That's going to do it for that. Let's get to the fun so I can stop talking, and I got to see what you think of King Ralph. I so enjoyed watching King Ralph for like the first time since since I don't even know if I was a teen maybe, but this was awesome. So there we go.
Good job.
All right.
Good job.
All right. Take it away.
All right. So we start in London, and we've got the whole royal family. They get taken out in like the first 30 seconds of the movie, which I gotta say, didn't see that happening.
Right.
So they're getting like a family picture taken, and the cords for all the lighting and things like that were sitting in water, and basically everyone got electrocuted. And so now they're looking for an heir to the throne, and that's where they find Ralph. Well, yeah, they find out who Ralph is, basically. So he's got some strengths and some weaknesses.
Great scene.
But he's American. So that's the big dun, 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 So then we get to meet John Goodman, a.k.a. our King Ralph. He's singing songs in Vegas. And not even like a nice nightclub or anything like that. It just looks like your D- entertainment.
D-, I like that. Yeah. Is it not necessarily a strip club, but kind of?
It's like
not a good one.
They do some stripping. There's a monkey that comes out once in a while. He shares the dressing room with a monkey, a psychic monkey, apparently, because that's what the door said.
That's great.
All right, so we got Duncan. Duncan heads to Vegas to meet Ralph and tell him the news that, hey, there was this tragedy, and you're going to be, the king of England. Obviously, he doesn't believe it, but he's able to finally convince Ralph that he is the king after showing him this ring. It's a ring that Ralph's grandmother had that some prince gave her.
Some prince?
Yeah, because they had gotten together.
He definitely gave it to her.
No, episode 69.
Episode 69.
All right.
Beat me to it right on.
And then he realizes it's true. So he flies to England and meets Cedric, who is going to teach him all the things he needs to know and basically keep him from causing a war and stuff. I think I'm going to like Cedric. I like his smart-ass remarks. Like, where do we start? Everywhere. Of course we do. If you have not noticed yet, if you go back and listen to the other podcast, I usually go for the smart-ass one-liners.
Oh, yeah,
like,
you do.
That is just
absolutely.
something I like. It's just easy and it's fun, and sometimes the writing is very clever on that. So, all right, so we got our King Ralph. He's getting cleaned up a bit, fitted for new clothes, and he gets some authentic cuisine: bangers and mash, roast beef and pudding, and spotted dick. That's right, we have a spotted dick sighting. So, a couple of episodes ago, we talked about good food with weird names like green funk, hot brown, all of that. And our good friend Brian from England mentioned spotted dick. Well, now I've seen it, and I know what we were talking about. And honestly, it looked good. It was a dessert, and I was like, I'd give that a shot. Yeah, why not? All right. Anyway, back to the movie. All right, so the king is figuring out his life. You just found out you're a king after being like this bum who can't hold down a job.
It's a strange transition, right? And by the way, I always thought as a kid watching this that, like, wow, why wouldn't you believe him? Somebody came and told me I was the king of England. I'd be like, hell yeah, let's go.
And now you know why you don't believe that kind of stuff. Because I'd be like, I am not getting in your vehicle, sir. I'm sorry. I don't care who you think I am. So anyways, he's trying to figure his life out. he's taking a bath. And he's got the freaking crown on because Cedric told him to wear the crown around and get used to the weight of it.
That's right. And that's exactly what you do. You put it on, you get naked. You get in the tub.
I guess. But then, like, he, like, leans forward. He drops the crown in the water. And it's just like, dude, you're a mess. Stop touching things.
He really, really is a mess. And John Goodman does that so well, being the absolute mess
that he is.
Yeah, there's the tea scene where he is just
trying to pour the tea and
he's
just
touching
dropping everything. Sugar cubes are going flying, and then he finally just kind of like plops them in instead of using the tongs.
And he like nervously grabs and fidgets with every single
and
thing.
everything
is
loud,
yeah,
you know?
And then cranks down he does that so well.
Yeah. All right, so, he's taking a bath. He's got the crown on, all that. The crown falls in the water. He's just a mess. He goes and sees a strip show because that's what you do as a king, He meets Miranda.
Did he forget?
He meets Miranda, who is pretending to be from Las Vegas.
No, that's her character.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you really thought she was... I'm sorry.
Her character is that she is from Las Vegas. I'm sorry, a bad choice of words there. And he wants to go on a date with her, and he's like, trying to get that to happen. And she's like, this guy is absolutely insane. He's trying to say, I'm the new king. And she's like, okay, get the hell out of here, kind of.
First of all, you're American. Get out of here.
And then on top of that, so you've got the king that's trying to learn all these skills, getting all cleaned up, all this, and we see him trying to learn how to play cricket as well, and just trying to play baseball, basically, as he's learning to play cricket.
Yeah, right.
All right. So then we meet the bad guy. The entire entire review refers to him as the bad guy because I didn't know his name. Yeah.
As Lord Percival Graves, I believe.
Okay, well, he's the bad guy. So the bad guy goes to visit Miranda, which we know he's the bad guy right off the bat, so I feel like that's fine too.
Well, just John Hurt is such a great bad guy,
Yeah.
He just is. It's easy.
So he goes to Miranda and he goes to make her an offer. He wants her to basically befriend the king, be seen around him, and just so the country sees, the company that he's keeping, they'll want to get rid of him as king. So she asks him to leave, but he's very persuasive about the money, and he's willing to pay for basically everything for her and her family if she just does this. And he's not asking her to like sleep with him or anything like that. They just need like a picture of them kissing or something to just,
ignite the scandal.
Yes, basically. So she seems like she's going along with this. So now the king meets with the prime minister, and we see how uneducated Ralph really is.
Is that where he falls asleep?
Yes, but before he does, just some of the stupid things that he says. Like, that is a good scene in itself just for... he basically doesn't make sense. They say one thing, and then he goes, yeah, that's how I see it. And it's like, wait, that doesn't make sense.
Oh, right. They're talking about foreign policy, and he's like trying to agree
no
and
idea.
sound smart and just absolutely did not. Now, is that the prime minister he meets? Is that the first time in the movie where he says, call me Ralph?
Yes.
And then I think the prime minister replies with something along the lines of, oh, your majesty, I could never do that.
Yes.
And that just every time I see that, it kills me.
Yep.
Absolutely.
But yes, that is the same scene where he falls asleep during the meeting because he says he's still on Vegas time.
That's right.
Anyway, the meeting was basically, they were asking to hold a ceremony on the 23rd to welcome the king of Zambezi.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, okay. I didn't write it phonetically like I normally do, so I saw it and I was like, I don't remember if that's how you say it. All right. So anyways, Ralph takes a nap after all of this because he's still tired, I guess. Gets up, starts getting ready for his date with Miranda. He wanted to go out, but Cedric advised him against it, so Miranda ends up showing up at the castle, their home.
Yeah, like they sent a car for her and all that.
Anyway, that's probably one of the best scenes so far, too. They fixed his wardrobe. He actually looks a little bit like a king, and she's dressed up nicely. And this is the second scene where he's like, just call me Ralph. And she's like, I'm sorry, I could never do that.
It just, I don't know. I don't know why. It just kills me every time.
We rewound that and watched it a couple of
several
times. Several
times.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I could never do it.
And the best part is right after that. They're standing there awkwardly for a second, and then he goes, all right, well, it looks like it's just the 7 of us.
That's right, because of the guards.
Because of the guards and everybody there. So it's just kind of a goofy scene, and, it was funny, and they're having a good time. So she visits a couple of times, but then the press gets tipped off, takes a picture where she's like covering her face, so you can't see who it is, but they know there's a love interest in the king's life now.
Yep.
So Cedric tells Ralph that their friendship has to end. So it must be the 23rd now, because now we have the king of Zambezi is here, and Ralph is embarrassing himself. He basically forgets how to introduce himself and his country. It's just kind of awkward, but he ends up recovering pretty well by asking the king if he wants to go out and get a beer. So they end up throwing darts, and they're talking, and it's pretty cool. It just like having a normal interaction as if these guys aren't leaders, you know?
Yeah, very casual.
Yeah. He ends up being considered a breath of fresh air. And his popularity is actually starting to gain around the country.
Yeah.
Kind of a nice upswing in the movie where it's like, hey, you're an idiot, but okay, well, he's a nice idiot. He means well.
King Ralph.
Yeah. But he's also getting sick of being trapped in the castle all day and night. He basically can't have a life right now. So he sneaks out to meet Miranda. The bad guy calls Miranda and tells her, like, this is about to happen, and she needs to go wherever King Ralph wants to go and make sure the photographer gets a picture. This guy's going to be following them, and she's got to make sure that this happens. They end up at a Burger King, which, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, I know it.
But
Something I've been wanting to do ever since I got to this country, he says.
Yeah.
And he goes to the Burger King.
Yep. But everyone starts recognizing that it's King Ralph. And it becomes this whole ordeal, and Miranda ends up ruining the photographer's shot. This is where you realize, oh, shoot, okay, I guess she's going to decide against the money. The perfect opportunity. He's, hey, why don't you lean in closer for a picture, all that. Why don't, you give him a kiss and whatever. Like, they were trying to set this up so easy. And she was just like, nah, and like squirted mustard, ketchup all over the camera.
Good shot, too.
Yeah, well, Anyway, so they end up running off. They're dancing. They kiss. Unfortunately, the photographer still followed them, so he still got the shot of them kissing. But Miranda goes to the bad guy the next day and is like, I don't want your money.
The bad guy.
Yeah, he's.
Lord
I
Graves.
told you the entire
I know.
thing.
I just love it.
He's the bad guy.
All right.
So she's like, I don't want your money. And she's now just against the whole thing. On the flip side of things, Cedric and Duncan have found a match for the king. But at this point, he basically loses it. He's tired of not having a life. He has this castle, cars, people that will wait on him hand and foot, but he has no freedom, no choices. He's just kind of stuck. Cedric talks him into sticking around through all of this, telling him to think of something bigger than himself, for once.
Yeah, right? He says something like, I've never held a job more than 6 months.
Yeah.
Or something like that,
Yeah. And they're telling him, see this thing through, which basically hits the king pretty hard. He decides to stick around, be the king of England, be the king that the country needs. So they're getting ready to host this dinner party kind of thing, this dinner with the Prime Minister of Finland. It was the Prime Minister, right, of Finland?
King of Finland, I believe.
Is it the King of Finland?
Yeah.
Okay, so the leader of Finland and his wife and daughter, the daughter being the eligible bachelorette. In the meantime, the bad guy sends a bunch of flowers to Miranda's door saying it was from the king, and an invitation to the dinner with a note saying, please come, I miss you, signed, King Ralph. But it actually wasn't written by the king. So, of course, she's going to, show up to this event. They're trying to get the princess of Finland and King Ralph more acquainted. They dance, all that. We find out that she's got this really weird, deep voice. It's
because the plan is to have them married, so that they unite the two countries. And we all know that kind of the whole deal, right?
And we were just talking about Game of Thrones earlier. Yes, absolutely.
So it was like that whole deal, and they're supposed to do that. And he's nervous. He meets her, and she's easy on the eyes. That's
that
cool.
makes it easier. Sure.
And then when she talks, her voice is just.
It's so deep.
It's crazy deep.
Yeah. I mean, that's worth watching the movie just for that part.
It was always a favorite part of
it's like 50 minutes in, I'm pretty sure. You'll hear it.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
But yeah, it did shock me at first. Because I was wondering, I'm like, okay, what's wrong with this girl? Because there's going to be something wrong. She's beautiful. They're going to unite the countries and all of that kind of stuff. But King Ralph is King Ralph.
Yeah.
There's got to be a catch. I did not see it being the deep voice.
It's a great one.
Yeah.
A great twist.
But anyway, so it's this fancy party and all of that kind of stuff. So you've got your classical music playing. People are dancing. And it's, fancy, smancy, stuffy.
Stuffy, yeah.
It's very stuffy. Of course, King Ralph is going to get bored of the stuffiness. He decides to sing a little rock and roll, as they called it, and ended up dancing with Miranda because, again, she had shown up. Of course, it causes a big
Just going to gloss
scene.
right over Little Richard. He does the good golly Miss Molly from Little Richard.
Yeah.
And just killed it.
Well, he did, but it's just an old song,
It's just an old... That's like a great scene.
It's a great
golly,
scene.
Molly
It's a great
he
scene.
He goes nuts.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a little too far out. Read the room. I know.
Read the room.
I know you can't.
All right, another main character Naomi is hired at.
I know he can't read the room. I know he's the American loudmouth and all of that stuff. But you have gone from classical quiet music to that.
Well, he was also egged on by the bad guy to, be his American self and use some of his American flamboyance.
Yeah, well, he should have had a couple of brain cells to realize, you got to draw a line somewhere. You don't need to be dancing and kicking your feet out while you're playing the thing that wasn't a piano.
Harpsichord, I believe it was.
Yeah, I don't remember what they called it.
But he killed it. It
Mini
was great.
piano.
Just absolutely crushed that.
Yeah, he did great with it. But again, not the time or the place for it. Anyway, so he ends up dancing with Miranda, and it causes a whole scene. Of course, it embarrassed the leader of Finland and his family. And Miranda didn't realize that he was supposed to marry into royalty, marry the princess.
Yeah, she had no idea that was going on.
So now everybody is mad. Everybody that King Ralph knows
Who is
mad.
this woman? Who is this woman?
Yeah.
That type of thing.
And now the countryside is mad too, and they want King Ralph to resign. So Ralph doesn't want to resign, though. He wants to be a good king and wants to do, the right thing. He got to the point where he was like, I'm going to stick through this. And now all of a sudden everybody wants him gone. And he's like, shoot, I messed up.
All right.
So he meets with Miranda, who confesses that the bad guy met with her and offered her money to be seen with Ralph and basically ruin his life. Of course, he's pretty mad about this, and he blows up, and it's kind of sad.
Yeah, a real heavy moment in a very light movie.
Yeah. And then Ralph does some digging and finds the note on the back of the invitation, the one that he supposedly wrote, but it's in Gordon's handwriting. So he calls in Gordon for an explanation, which, of course, he doesn't have one. So then the king meets with Duncan and asks about something Duncan had said in the beginning of the movie. In the beginning of the movie, they said, we knew we made the right choice, or we made the right decision when we chose you, Ralph. And it was like, wait a minute, what did you say? And they just gloss over it. And you kind of forget about it until this point.
Totally. Very deep, too.
So
right?
now Ralph meets with Cedric and basically says, Duncan has filled me in. I know there is someone else who was in line for the throne. So the other person who was in line for the throne was Cedric. Dun, dun, dun. I did not see that coming. I figured
wondering,
it was going to be somebody else that we just haven't met yet.
I always, I try not to ask and things like that, or try not to ruin anything and stuff. But when that happened, I really wanted to ask so bad if you knew about that. So
No,
that's cool.
no, I didn't. But Cedric didn't want it because he's older. He doesn't have kids to pass the crown down to, and he didn't feel like he was fit for the job. So Ralph's like, I should be mad, but what the hell? I don't have anything else going on. And hey, we're family,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Technically, yes. So then he tells Duncan he wants to address Parliament tomorrow. He's probably going to resign, but then I bet you he's going to give the power to Cedric, because why wouldn't he? He's the rightful heir, even if he doesn't want it. And again, the best leaders are the ones who don't want it. And again, he's the rightful heir. And also, on top of everything, like, Cedric was the one, like, teaching King Ralph everything he needed to know. So Cedric knows everything already. So he knows how to be a king, and he deserves it.
He's already there.
Yeah. And honestly, I've really liked him as a character in this movie. He's just a good guy with that hint of smartassery, you know. And he just plays the character very well. All right, so we get Ralph addressing Parliament and actually brought in a whole bunch of jobs to the country after he lost all those jobs to Finland earlier at the dinner party situation. You know, they were supposed to marry the countries together, and they were going to get all these...
A whole bunch of manufacturing jobs or something like that, yeah.
But thanks to his weird relationship with the king Zambezi, where they went out and had drinks and all of that kind of stuff, they're going to start manufacturing automobiles for them. They're going to do a lot of they're going to do a lot of the plant work.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so...
Great moment.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
Such a heartwarming moment.
I knew, you know, Cedric is going to become the king and all of that, but there was a nice little bonus on there because...
Great touch.
I bet you if I watched this movie 3 or 4 times, at one point I would start ripping apart the fact that he ruined all those jobs, that chance for jobs and opportunities for people, and be like, that was not okay. You know, they answered my questions. They stopped my criticism before it even happened.
Boom.
Yeah. And then he does decide he's going to step down only if Cedric becomes the new king, which, again, I'm glad he did deserve it. Also, the bad guy gets arrested during all of this.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I wasn't going to completely glaze over all that.
So I love that scene, too, as they're, you know, as he's just laying all the proof down and the bad guy says, you know, has an excuse for everything. And then Ralph just keeps going more on top of it. And we have your fingerprints, and we have this, and Scotland Yard found the negatives in your apartment this morning. And and the guy's just like,
and then on top of it too, King Ralph ends up like reciting a law or something, you know.
That's right.
And it's like, according to this stature or whatever, blah blah blah, sent forth by, and then he's got to wait a second, figure out what king had said it, you know. But it's just it gives you that moment where it's like, hey, he learned something.
He was paying attention a little bit. There you go. Yeah.
Good job, King Ralph.
All right, Ralph.
All right, so bad guy gets arrested. We see Cedric taking over as king right before Ralph leaves. So Cedric ends up making Ralph some Duke of Warren.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Third Duke of Warren and, you know, the whole super long, crazy British titles. Brian, do you have a title? Does Brian from England have a title?
Oh my gosh!
Does your family have like some strange landholding title? That'd be fantastic.
Please, and if you don't,
they're just strange to us. Do you understand? He knows.
If you don't, make one up because it's not like we'll know. Just saying.
I'm thinking like Parks and Rec when Andy becomes friends with the dude from England and he's got this just like super long.
He's got
title.
a long name, yeah. So Cedric takes over as king. Cedric makes Ralph some duke and gives him this own recording studio and a home and all of that kind of stuff. So, yay, we got to the end of the movie and everyone lived happily ever after.
Happily ever after.
Except for the bad guy because he's in jail.
Except for the bad guy. The bad guy. John Hurt, who's also the bad guy in one of our favorite movies, V for Vendetta.
Yeah, as soon as I saw him, I'm like, hey, I know that guy.
That was one of those things where Naomi just absolutely knew that right off the bat. It was fantastic.
I couldn't tell you his name because I couldn't have told you his name during this whole movie.
All right.
Now I know it's John Hurt.
And Lord Percival Graves, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
All right. That's King Ralph from 1991. I love that you watched King Ralph. What did you think?
What did I think?
What did you think? Did you like it? That's our number one review question.
I mean, I liked it. It was cute.
All right. Did you like it a ton or just okay?
I'm not going to say a ton.
You definitely didn't laugh as hard as I did.
Well, no. It was like stupid humor.
Hey, call me Ralph. Oh, no, I could never do that. I mean,
like,
that.
again, some scenes were cute, funny. They made me, like, chuckle a little bit, but it wasn't, like, laugh out loud hilarious.
All right. What'd you know about it going in?
Nothing. John Goodman was in it.
John Goodman was in it. That's it.
That guy's going to become king, you know.
What were your thoughts going in then?
I mean, I figured it was going to be a goofy movie. I figured it was going to be kind of silly and all of that. And then right off the bat with the whole family dying, I was like, oh, this is going to be a quick-moving movie, which it was. A lot happens, and the storyline moves along very quickly, which I enjoy. I don't need it to pause or drag on.
Back in the days when we got right to it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
1991. We're talking get it done.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We got some jokes to land here. Come on.
Right. What surprised you about King Ralph?
I don't know if anything really surprised me about the movie. Maybe how fast it moved along,
All right.
I guess.
Let me see here. What would you have liked it more or less if you were, younger when you first saw it? And I mean, a good. I think I was 9 or 10 when I first saw this.
I probably would have liked it more. I wouldn't have understood as much,
right? Like
the actual storyline part of it, but I'd probably think it was funnier and goofier.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, that's kind of what I figured too. What was your favorite part?
Favorite part?
I think we all know my favorite part is those jokes. Oh no, I could never do that.
Yeah, I think
I mean, so much.
I think my favorite part is actually the character Cedric.
Yeah?
Yeah, every scene he was in, I just enjoyed. I enjoyed his character, and
What would we call that? The dry British wit.
Yes, that is exactly what it is, and I enjoyed that.
I think I got that from The Simpsons or something like that. What was your least favorite part?
Oh, gosh. Least favorite part. Well, King Ralph going into a Burger King was just real odd.
Perfectly American, no?
Honestly, it would have been like McDonald's would make it perfectly American. I don't know. Why did he go to the fast food place?
Because he needed a burger.
I guess. I don't know. I didn't.
Just like Iron Man.
I didn't quite enjoy that scene, especially when everyone started noticing him and he was just kind of like, all right, no, I'm not who you think I am. Like, what did you think was going to happen there?
Yeah, right.
Like, people have started liking you. That means they're going to know who you are. Yeah, I guess I wasn't a fan of that.
Okay. Would you recommend King Ralph to someone else who hasn't seen it?
Well, sure. You got to watch that movie.
Got to watch King Ralph. Especially, I mean, even if it's just for the spotted dick scene.
Yeah, I learned what that was.
That's right.
I mean, I heard of it. We talked about it before, but I got to see spotted dick. I did.
I'm going to cut that right out and use that as a promo for the show.
Yeah,
that's
especially
right.
for episode 69, Spotted dick.
Naomi's Under a Rock reviews. I got to see spotted dick.
That's right.
Would you watch King Ralph again?
Possibly. Maybe.
If you see that it's on TV and you don't care what's on, would you put it on?
I guess. I'd probably leave it on as background noise. But if I'm looking for something to entertain my brain a little bit, probably not.
And
sorry.
Are you happy you watched it?
Of course.
All
always.
Right. All right. Well, great. Thank you for watching King Ralph. I'm super happy that you at least enjoyed watching it a little bit.
Yeah,
because
it wasn't bad.
I absolutely did.
Definitely wasn't great, and anybody who says it's great, you're wrong. Come on.
I like the worst stuff. Like, I have the worst taste in movies, but as a friend of ours always says, the only palate you have to please is your own.
That's right.
So there you go.
Yep. All right, so we'll see what happens next week. American Pie might have moved up pretty quickly on that list.
I'm not sure if I even have American Pie on the list, if we've discussed that before, but yeah, thank you for reminding me that I'm going to have to put that on the list. And while we're talking about it, if you want to recommend a movie or ask if Naomi's seen the movie, well, I guess myself too, because I'll do a review every now and then. But you can just shoot us a message on the Facebook or YouTube page, drop a comment on any of our posts asking us. We try to look and respond to everything on every platform we possibly can. So
Absolutely.
let us know. We are always adding new movies. We are talking about Naomi liking the one-liners and stuff like that just the other day. So we added Fletch.
Yes, we did.
To the list. So we'll get to that one too.
Eventually. We'll get to these movies eventually.
Well, we got a lot and we got time. So there we go.
And we are feeling pretty free to add more to them.
Yes.
All right. So it's time for Thought of the Day.
Thought of the day. Thought of the day. It's your thought of the day. Thought of the day.
I am so proud of this one.
Oh, I know it's not of my singing.
Yeah, that's not what I was proud of.
All right.
All right. So at some point recently, the internet made pineapple a more controversial pizza topping than anchovies. Disgust.
Wow, that is kind of mind-blowing, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, like, who's the real enemy here? Let's think about this.
It's the internet.
It's the anchovies, man.
Oh, no, I think it's the internet because, I mean, they made us all think we're going to swallow spiders, too.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that whole thing.
But yes, you are 100% right. Anchovies or pineapple, which one are you going to really not want? And I don't want anybody going, oh, I'd rather have the anchovies. Because no, you wouldn't. I think
like,
you're just making it up.
Let's actually, like, have that pizza. Like, we could do this as, like, a street team scene. You know what I mean?
We should.
I did not mean to rhyme that many times. But no, for real. Like, you could be like, hey, does pineapple belong on pizza? And when someone goes, no, go, okay, would you rather have pineapple or anchovies? And the people who'd go like, oh, I'd rather have anchovies. Pull out the pizza with the anchovies and go, okay, here you are.
Someone out there is going to try to tell me or us that anchovies is a better pizza topping. But then in the same breath, they're going to say, but I don't like it. But it's okay.
No.
Somebody is going to come with that defense, which is just going to be, but you won't eat it. But that's, the whole...
That's not a good argument.
Yeah,
then.
exactly.
You can't just no.
Yeah.
No, your argument is invalid.
Don't come at me unless
you should feel
like,
bad about that.
There's no way I'm eating pineapple on pizza because I have anchovies on pizza. Does anywhere even have anchovies offered anymore?
I don't know.
Sometimes I forget that they're not extinct. I think they're extinct because of Futurama.
You watch too much TV.
I really watch too much TV. That's a whole entire thing.
All right. We have gone down that
should
rabbit
be our.
hole.
I'm going to put a poll up. Anchovies or pineapple? What do you think?
You have to pick one. Something's going on your pizza. Is it fish or fruit?
I wish I had a pizza with pineapple on it.
There you go. All right, you're gonna leave us with a laugh.
I'm going to do my best.
Okay.
I'm sorry. You're right. That's such a. You got me.
I did.
You got me with the crazy thought of the day. I've trained my dog to fetch me a bottle of wine. He's a Bordeaux collie.
That's stupid.
No, I think the winos would like it.
No, it's stupid.
I hired a handyman and gave him a list. When I got home, only items 1, 3, and 5 were done. It turns out he only does odd jobs.
Nice. That one's cute.
Ghost walks into a bar. The bartender says, "Sorry, we don't serve spirits."
Aww.
And let's see here. What do pigs learn in the army?
I don't know.
Ham-to-ham combat.
That's so dumb. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
These are getting worse and worse every week.
Ham-to-ham combat. Come on, that was great. Come on, that was a good one. That was a good one.
The odd jobs one was okay.
The odd jobs one, a Bordeaux collie?
No.
Bordeaux collie?
No.
I like that
I'm
one.
not here for it.
That was fantastic. All right, thank you for sticking through episode 69. What a rambling, fumbling, stumbling, bumbling episode, but it was still fun.
That's right.
We hope you enjoyed it. King Ralph was great. I'm glad you liked King Ralph. Tell your friends. Luke and Naomi on air. You can Google it. And like Naomi says,
we come up.
We come up. Absolutely. We'll see you back here for episode 70, wherever you're listening. Thank you for listening. Check us out on YouTube. If you haven't yet, give us a follow over there. We would definitely appreciate that.
Yes.
Until next time, have some fun this week and be excellent to each other.
Love you. Bye.